How to build a content calendar. Assuming that you know what a content calendar is, we'll cover it just in case you don't briefly, and why it's important. And I'm also going to share with you the best content calendar that I've ever created. Building a content calendar is a very personal experience. What I love about it is you can design it however you want. There really are no rules. It's all about it serving you. You can make it on paper. I would imagine that would be quite challenging, but if that's how you work, you can make that work. I prefer the computer, and there are lots of different tools that you can use on the computer. Now, a content calendar is just how it sounds. It's a place where you store all of your calendar with the dates of when the content will go out or when the content went out. It's also a great place to be able to access all of the content and just store it in a really organized way. Now, why a content calendar is important? Well, organization for one. And I know that's challenging for a lot of people, but being organized allows you to have a bird's eye view so you can see when your content will go out, and you're ensuring that you have a good mix and variety of content. You do not want to promote your business too much on social media. Having a content calendar is a great way to prevent this. Conversely, you don't want a promotion or event to pass and you realize that you didn't promote it enough, or you didn't promote it early enough or too late. Having a content calendar will also have you prevent that. So now let's get right into how to build a content calendar. First, you can decide what you will use. When I first started, I used Google Drive, specifically Google Sheets. And now I use Trello, which is a software for organization specifically, but you can use anything like Monday.com or Asana or any other sort of tool that you choose. I do highly recommend Trello. Now, on the Google Calendar sheet, when I just first started, I just used the columns, and I had a place for the date, and I had a place for all of the other things I'll talk about, but you really decide how you want to organize it. On Trello, what I love is there is an option that you can put it for a due date. And a due date will allow you to, in the calendar view, see all of your content on the different dates. So it looks just like a calendar. It's really nice. So going back to Google Sheets, again, you can decide how you want to organize the column. So as a reminder, I had a column for the date. Then I had a column that linked to the media. And then I had a column with the actual caption. And then I had a column with a link to the media, whether it was a graphic or video. Now, it may sound complicated, but I promise you, once you get it all built up, it actually makes your life a lot easier. You can just plan out your content. That's another benefit. You can plan it out. And when it's time to schedule or post, you can do it all in one sitting. I have a content calendar template I'm happy to share, and you will be able to hopefully find that in the links below as long as I get that. So this is the content calendar that I used when I first started. I have different tabs where there's 2 posts per day or 4 posts per day or even 5 posts per day. And I'll have the day here, the link to the media you can put here, your caption, the post date, and the type of post if you choose. And you can reorganize this any way that you want, or if you only have 1 post per day, you can also use it, but it's a good way to keep it organized. It can require a little bit more discipline, but if using a sheet or planner is your thing, it's fairly easy. I think the Trello system might be a little bit better for if you're more experienced, but if you're just getting started and you want something to keep you organized, this is a great resource to get started. So Trello, I can actually label the media, and I can just put a link for the videos. So when I say label the media, I mean I can just upload the graphic right directly there to the Trello card. I usually leave a link to the media and put it in a cloud storage, like a drive or something, just because video takes up so much room and I don't want to overwhelm my Trello cloud. All of the platforms just go on one card. It's very easy. I have separate cards for each day of the week, and all of the platforms go onto one card. The best content calendar I ever created. Ready for it? I use Trello. My team and I have a board, and we use it for brainstorming and for client notes and for content creation and for a little bit of messaging each other and communicating about the content. We develop the content right there on the board. We have the due date where it's due. And once it's ready for review, I simply label it and it automatically goes onto another board for the client to review. The client's board is very neat. It looks nice and simple, and they can just literally view their card for the upcoming day with all of their content nice and neat on there. It's a very effective, efficient review system. And the clients, I love that they love it as well. So just to give a quick overview and behind the scenes tour of our team board, again, we have everything here. This is our template. We have the schedule, the important hashtag days, client information for posts, any important documents, story inventory, because we want to really get into more storytelling, and our draft posts. And then, as mentioned, we have our calendar built out here with the content days for the week, and inside you can just see an example of what a day might look like, the picture for the platform here, and the caption, as well as the due date. So you can easily see that on the calendar view when you select the calendar view. Then we also have notes about the pillars for each platform. And then we also build out what our Instagram feed will look like for aesthetic as we go along, just to kind of keep in mind, especially when we don't want too many like colors, or just to have a bird's eye view. And this is an example of the actual client board. This is what our clients see. The board is nice and neat. It just has the days of the week and their upcoming days for posting, as you can see with the due date, and they only see their content. They can request their changes inside of Trello if they like. I also recommend we have a Slack communication channel for other sorts of communication, so it's also a lot easier and faster for them to just request it directly inside of there. But if they request it in here, of course, they can easily reference the exact day and card. And here's the calendar power up. So you can also see on the calendar easily how many items are scheduled for the day and which items are scheduled, all of that. So clients usually find it very useful, very intuitive, and pretty easy to navigate. Creating the system, it took time and experience and lots of detail and testing, but I find that it is wonderful for collaboration, keeping content organized, and keeping things on time. Follow me for more social media tips for your business.